Cities are defined by their cultures. Those cultures could entail sports or business or certainly arts and entertainment. Oklahoma City is thriving in all of these areas. But who makes that all happen? This Town OKC explores the people behind the cultures, their origins, their motivations, their challenges, and their dreams. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. I've been in this town for over 50 years with a front row seat to seeing the culture grow from a dusty bus stop on the Southern Plains to a flourishing destination. Join me as we meet the folks behind the culture on This Town OKC. Mary Blankenship Pointer, thank you so much for being here across the table from me in the rehearsal studio at Carpenter Square Theater. They sponsor the podcast because I record here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me today. And if you haven't visited Carpenter Square Theater, it's the place to come. They have great performances.
Thank you for that endorsement. I'm pretty proud of the place myself. So let's get into your story. This is your oral history, and I want to hear from you. So let me first tell you what I think I know about you. You have a history of banking and being involved in the arts, and that you're now self-employed as a consultant. Is
Yes.
that pretty much it?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here.
I told you it would be a short interview.
All right. So where are you from? Where'd you go to school?
So let me start at the beginning.
Yes.
So the beginning started in the 1900s.
Okay. You're not quite that old.
Not that old, but
Well, actually, you are 1900s. I mean, I'm not, yeah.
the early 1900s.
Oh, okay.
So my grandparents laid the foundation for who I am today. My grandparents, both of my grandmothers had a garden that was a city block long, and they raised food for the community.
Okay.
And they canned food, they gardened, they gave food to everyone. And it was just my grandmother. My grandfather had already passed away. And then it was my other grandmother and grandfather. Then my grandfather...
Well, no, which community?
It was Ozark, Arkansas, and Sallisaw, Oklahoma.
Okay. Right on the state line there now.
Right on the state
Okay.
line. My grandfather, during the Great Depression, they were well off. And so there were many people in the community that didn't have money, but they wouldn't borrow money from my grandfather, or they wouldn't let him give them money as charity.
Right.
So he sat them down and said, okay, we'll sign an IOU.
Okay.
And he gave money to people. They signed an IOU. When I was about 10 years old, I was going through my grandfather's army chest, and I found a stack of IOUs that was about 3 inches tall.
Oh, my.
And I ran into my grandmother and said, Grandma, we're rich. We'll just call all these people. And she said, that's not what we do. And so she tells me the story that people wouldn't accept charity, but they would sign an IOU.
Right.
He would never accept repayment for the money.
Did you ever tally up the total amount? Did it come to like $30 or something like that?
My grandmother took it away from me.
Oh, ooh. Too young to know.
Too young to know. It was probably more than that.
Did you ever see that stack again?
No, she took it away from me. Never to be seen again. So he was my first impression of philanthropy.
Right.
I mean, and he was giving money with no expectation of
Right.
return.
Yeah.
He was helping the community. He did what they needed to do.
Where did you go after straddling the state line?
Oh, I grew up in Oklahoma City. My grandparents moved from Tennessee right after statehood to Muskogee.
Okay.
So my father was actually an Okie from Muskogee. And then my mother lived in Arkansas.
Okay. And then your mom and dad came to Oklahoma City?
They did.
And what year was that?
1954.
Okay.
1954.
Okay. So you went to school here.
I did.
Which one?
I went to Grant High School,
Okay.
and then I went to OU and OCCC, so
And what were your majors?
banking and finance.
Okay. All right.
And I always tell people that, they always say, well, how did you become a banker? Well, the very first thing I held when I was born was a $100 bill.
Okay.
So my grandfather Blankenship, I had no choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
He predetermined my my career.
So how did that career get started?
I started working at Liberty Bank when I was 21 years old.
Okay.
And I worked in the credit card center. In the olden days, as I say, you had a credit limit of like $300 or $500. And so
Right.
every time you made a charge over $50, they had to call to get an approval. And I was the person that would approve your credit.
Okay. You would look them up. There was a ledger or recipe card or something like that.
Paper.
Yeah.
And a funny story. So I had just met my husband, which was not my husband at the time. And being a banker, I'm a little cautious. So I ran a credit report on him, which is against the law now. You can't do that.
Right. Yeah. Kids don't do this at home.
Yeah, don't do that. And so I found out he had perfect credit. He paid all of his bills. So then I would go on a date with him.
I had a woman run a police report on me before she would go sailing with me one time.
Oh, no.
And while we were out there, she told me that she had done that. We did not go sailing again.
Well, I didn't tell my husband about the credit report until
Good.
we'd been married about 20 years.
Oh, good. By then, it was a little too late.
Yeah, what could he do?
Yeah.
He was trapped.
So I know from a previous conversation we had years ago when actually I think we first met, you graciously agreed to go to lunch with me because I was struggling with Carpenter Square and raising money and I needed to pick some brains. And you told me that while at Liberty, they had a plan to offer employees really cheap season tickets to cultural events. And you took advantage of that.
They did. So Liberty Bank, and I'm trying to get everyone else to do this. So Liberty Bank underwrote the season for Carpenter Square, Lyric, every organization. And so the employees could buy season tickets for $5.
Right.
And so I had season tickets to everything.
Yeah. And why not?
Why not?
I will tell you, I've taken that idea and put together a one sheet to explain that, getting season ticket prices down to like $8 because I was inspired. And I can't arrange meetings with anyone to show them that. I can't crack that nut.
I'm shocked that there's not a bank or an organization that believes in our community as strongly as Mr. Kirkpatrick did.
Right.
That they would step up to the plate. I mean, to be a season sponsor is not that much money.
And maybe that's my problem because I'm asking a significant number from, in my opinion.
Well, that significance not.
That's very subjective.
Yeah, you're not asking $1 billion.
No, or even $1 million.
No. So, I mean, and I know that the amount that he paid for the season sponsorship for all of those organizations would be a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
But he felt important. He felt that it was important to have his employees involved in the arts, in the community. And it was a way of supporting it. And so it was a win. It was a win for him, for the community, for the organizations. And so I feel really strongly in that model.
We will visit when we finish this a little bit more about this. So you were at Liberty Bank for how many years? And what did you do before you finally moved on? From the credit department, credit card department.
So then I moved over so I was in the credit department. Then I actually started in the collections department. Then I went to the loan department. And that was how I started in banking. I was a teller for 6 weeks and decided I wanted to do something else. And then I went over to the loan department.
Okay. And then how long were you at Liberty?
Probably 4 years.
Okay. What then?
Then I went to a little bank called Grand Square Bank.
On the south side?
Yes. And then I had a client that came in and recruited me to their bank.
Which was?
Southwestern, I think.
Another small community bank.
Another small community bank.
Okay.
Which is kind of unusual for a banker to go into another bank to recruit employees.
Right. Although, where else are you going to find experienced folks?
Exactly. So then I went over to the loan side and worked on every side of the bank. I helped collect bad loans.
Right.
So I worked in special assets where we were foreclosing houses. And,
Was this happened to be during the oil bust?
It was.
I kind of thought so.
It was. And
there were a lot of foreclosures back then.
There were. But, working on the bad side of the bank, I learned how to make a good loan.
There you go.
So you got to see the red flags and see, well, these probably shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
It was good.
The first house I ever bought in my adult life was a former bank foreclosure near OCU that the bank had remodeled it and put it on the market, and it was in the late 80s. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it was a result of the domino effect that resulted from Penn Square Bank.
Actually, I was at Liberty Bank, and I was supposed to go to work at Penn Square Bank the week after they failed. So I said, well, I guess I'm not going there. Wow. So I just missed that one.
So one could spin that story that the FDIC saw that you were headed over there and said, oh, no, we got to shut them down. We can't let her go to work there.
Yeah, which would have been another learning curve. You take everything in life and you learn from it.
Yeah. Well, without getting into each and every bank, I know that when I first encountered you, you were at Frontier State Bank or just Frontier Bank. It was in Norman.
That was Republic Bank.
Okay. Oh, yes. And then you went to Frontier. That's right. That's right. All right. Anything you want to talk about Republic or Frontier?
Well, they're both great community banks.
Okay.
Republic Bank now, of course, has changed their name to Armstrong Bank.
Okay.
And they're very involved in the community.
Good.
But, I keep going back to the community.
Yeah.
That it's important to be involved in the community. And so I would always say, I'm not endorsing any one bank or organization, but I would stay with something that's with the community because they actually support the community, like Carpenter Square or Lyric or, different organizations.
Yeah.
So you want to support who's supporting the community.
Right.
Going back to my history, too, so my parents followed in my grandparents' footsteps that my father had carpentry skills, so he went to the church and he built everything in the church and the pulpit. And my mother actually volunteered at South Community Hospital, which is in Tegris now, for over 25 years. So, and they never talked about volunteering. They never talked about philanthropy. They just did it.
They just did it, yeah.
They just did it.
Led by example.
Yeah.
How many years have you really actively worked in banking? Maybe that's a rude question to ask a lady. I just realized.
A long time.
Okay, that's fair enough.
A lifetime. A lifetime. And I've seen many...
just say a career. You've spent your career, yeah. Okay.
It's been a career. And I've seen many, many changes.
I'll bet. Well, for the longest time, banks couldn't have branches.
I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, what are we going to do? There's a branch. Now there's a bank on every corner.
Yeah, yeah. Except there's not always one where you want one.
But they can handle that with remote capture deposit. You can just take a picture of your check and deposit it.
And I do that myself. What's another big change in banking that you've seen, besides branches on every corner?
Regulatory issues that there's tighter control to prevent losses.
Yeah.
They don't want another Penn Square Bank to happen.
Right.
So they've put on tighter controls.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a little too tight.
Yeah. I would imagine remote banking, taking photos of your checks and zapping them in.
And another thing, in the olden days, 20 years ago, you used to get canceled checks in the mail.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now they don't do that anymore.
No. Okay. So enough about banking history. I don't really care that much.
I don't either.
Let's get back to you. You mentioned that you learned philanthropy and community support from your grandparents and your parents. So it seems only natural that it rubbed off on you and you got involved. Do you recall the first organization you volunteered for?
Probably my children's school or PTA.
Sure.
Well, I do have a funny story about this.
Okay.
So my children will tell you that I've always been ahead of the time. And I was the homeroom mother for my son's school. And I said, well, let's don't have cookies and Cokes, let's have healthy food.
Good for
let's
you.
Have healthy snacks and, water or juice or whatever. The other homeroom mothers went to the superintendent of the school and had me fired.
Oh, no.
So the teacher calls me and he said, okay, this is the deal. It was a social studies class. He goes, I want you to smuggle the food in, and I'll take it. So I wanted to have an international food tasting party. We could have pizza, we could have egg rolls, we could have lots of different things.
Right.
They had me fired.
Oh, gosh.
Because they wanted cupcakes and cookies and,
Right. Yeah.
So my son still teases me about it. Says, Mom, you've always been a leader on things.
I don't know if I've ever heard of anyone being fired for being a homeroom mom.
I know. Now you know. And then I took on the vending machines. They had vending machines in the schools.
Right. With candy bars.
With candy bars. And so I said, well, you can have your vending machines, but let's put apples or, healthy snacks in there, not candy bars. So I got fired from that, too.
You rebel, you.
I know. And now when you go to vending machines, you see water, you see healthy snacks.
Right.
And so I hope I had something to do with it.
So community-wide, what was your introduction to a nonprofit organization beyond a school?
So I had volunteered a few times, but I'll take leadership in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
So I had volunteered a few places, enough to qualify to get in leadership in Oklahoma City. I remember the first day Beth Schwartz said, you may have volunteered a few times, but being a leadership in Oklahoma City graduate, everyone is going to call you and get you involved in the community, and you're going to have more opportunities to volunteer. And so I'm thankful for Leadership Oklahoma City and Leadership Oklahoma for making those opportunities available.
Yeah, great organizations. What class of LOKC were you?
24.
Okay.
And 22 for Oklahoma.
All right. I'm class 22 of LOKC.
Okay.
I've not been able to do Leadership Oklahoma because I have Saturday morning radio shows. and, can't
You can't.
take the weekend off.
Yeah.
So,
And it's great.
but I've done the tribute videos for the annual awards gala
You have.
for almost 20 years now.
And you do a great job.
Thank you. And I've had the opportunity, my wife and I, to meet these incredible leaders around the state. Not just the big names, but the I'll say the regular leaders of their communities.
I chaired at Leadership Oklahoma a few years ago, and you'll remember we honored George Nye,
Yes.
Governor Anna Tubby,
Yes.
and Eskimo Joe's
Oh, Stan Clark.
Stan Clark.
Yeah, that was a great year.
Wasn't it?
Oh.
And Chuck Neal from Miami.
Yes.
That Stan Clark was just, his personality is just like his picture.
Right. Yeah.
He is just,
He was great.
he was just dynamic. And of course, Governor Anna Tubby, everyone loves Governor Anna Tubby.
Sure.
And George Nye,
Yeah.
George could write 2 words on the palm of his hand.
Right.
And he could make a 45-minute speech.
Exactly. Oh, and he told the story, I think this came up at his funeral, that he learned quickly he had to write those crib notes on his left hand
Yes.
because from shaking right hand, the sweat.
It would. And every so often you'd see him look at his hand.
Yeah.
Now, I have a George Nye story. So I used to work at local Oklahoma Bank, and he was one of our directors. And Neil Bush is a friend of mine. It's President Bush's brother. And he came in, and he was sitting in my office. And George comes in, or Governor Nye, I guess, comes in, and he's getting ready to leave. And, most people didn't realize it, but Governor Nye was a little ornery. So he picks up Neil Bush's telephone, and he looks at it, and he starts walking out the door, and he goes, "Does this have the button to call the White House directly?" And Neil said, "Yes." And so he just kept walking. So he was a little ornery.
Yeah. He was one of the greats.
Oh, he was. He had written a book, and he gave it to me. And he wrote in it, "To my rising star."
Oh, how sweet.
I know.
How sweet. So what made you leave banking?
I decided October 1st, 2024, that I wanted to do some other things. I wanted to just devote my time to helping people in the community and just having fun. I do travel a lot, too.
I've noticed. Sister City stuff, as I recall?
Yeah, but I travel.
Even more than that.
Yes. So there's an organization called AmFund, American Fundraising Organization.
Okay.
And they help nonprofits. They help nonprofits by helping them raise unrestricted donations. And so I've actually taken 10 trips with them.
Wow. As a reward for breaking goals, or?
Oh, no, I buy the trips.
Oh, I see.
So you buy the trips, and then they make a donation out of your purchase.
Okay. All right.
Be a great thing for Carpenter Square.
I'd like to know more about this.
I can help you with that.
Okay. Well, all right. I know I see your picture in the paper all the time, in a number of papers and magazines, as being involved in one thing or another. I know you've been very, very active more recently with the Red Andrews Christmas dinner.
Yes. So I work on that for about 11 months out of the year. This year was our first time since 2019 to have the dinner in person.
Ah.
And,
It took that long to recover from COVID?
when to find a location large enough for us.
Okay.
So
I remember serving one Christmas morning down at the, I think it was still the Myriad, maybe.
Probably.
When I did it.
You mean that trash heap down there?
Yeah.
So, we're talking about random acts of kindness. So many people don't know the story. So Red Andrews, there were 6 people that didn't have a place to go for Christmas. And he said, well, just come on over to my house and have Christmas dinner. And so it started with just a random act of kindness 79 years ago. And so what you do today can be impacting people 79 years from now.
Yeah.
So I hope that something that you and I and that we're all doing is still impacting generations to come.
Sure. Yeah, that ripple effect.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah.
You never know. American Heart Association?
Do.
I did see where you're heavily involved with that. I forget in what capacity.
I chaired it last year, so I've chaired it 3 years. My father died of a heart attack when he was 43.
Oh.
Mhm. So you never want to be that child that's standing in the hallway and your mother gets a phone call that your father's never coming home again because he
just died.
just died.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough.
And so, so I've had a passion that, you live a healthier lifestyle, going back to getting getting fired. And it's education, it's getting people to live a healthier lifestyle, exercising, making different choices.
Yeah.
And so if I can save one person's life and prevent one child from growing up without a father or a mother, a parent, it's worth it.
What other organizations command your time these days?
Well, so I'm helping the Red Cross.
Okay. Another worthy cause.
My grandmother, Blankenship, made quilts for the Red Cross. She lived in Salazar, which is right at the Arkansas River. And they were quilts that were given to people that were flood victims.
Okay.
So
very nice.
So she's my first introduction to the Red Cross. I would see her just making quilts all the time. And going back to her philanthropy, the Red Cross, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, the Oklahoma City Zoo. And if you haven't visited the zoo, I'll take you to the zoo.
I've seen, it seems like you're out there a lot.
I am out there a lot. I mean, it's always the perfect day to go to the Oklahoma City Zoo.
I agree. And we have such a great zoo.
We do.
And I worked at the city of Oklahoma City in public information when the 1/8 cent sales tax was passed for the zoo. And I remember there being some opposition, and I'm thinking, it's an eighth of a penny. An eighth of a penny. And now look what that has has transformed us into a world-class zoo.
It's funny because some people still come in and say, where's the monkey boat?
Yeah, yeah.
So they haven't been there in, 30 years?
Something like that, yeah.
But you're right, 1/8 of a penny. It goes back to look at the ripple effect.
Exactly. Yeah. So I see your posts on social media. Join me in supporting this organization. And that organization, and another organization. So name a few more.
So I do use my social media to support organizations. I don't do anything else. Of course, I love Oklahoma City Ballet. Ryan is fabulous. If you haven't gone to the ballet, the Lyric, Michael does an incredible job.
Oh, he does.
I mean, the Christmas Carol, if you didn't see it, it was just incredible what they've done. I do support a lot of social services.
Yeah.
I actually met with the Susan Komen Foundation this morning.
Ooh.
They asked me to help them do a few things.
Okay.
So I have a few friends that are struggling with breast cancer right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's an easy ask.
Sure. Yeah, you bet. Do you serve on many boards?
I do. Don't ask how many because I don't remember. I serve on the Council of International Neonatal Nurses, which is an international organization. I serve on the National Board to Prevent Blindness. So I have a lot of passions, healthcare, education, the arts.
Yeah. All very worthy causes.
And they're all important to the communities.
Yes, they are.
If we want to recruit businesses to Oklahoma City,
Right.
we have to have a healthy community.
Right.
And we have to have the arts.
We have to have the arts. It's all part of that fabric of the community.
It is. I mean, for years and years and years, you'll hear of some company looking at Oklahoma City. Well, their employees say there's nothing to do here.
Yeah.
So the arts have come along and made so many great things.
I recall, I believe it was Mayor Norick saying that he was told by the American Airlines people that the reason they passed us over for Indianapolis was because it wasn't that there wasn't anything for the executives. There wasn't anything for the workers.
Right.
For the rank and file folks.
Right.
We had the ballet, we had the symphony and all that stuff, but we didn't have the everyday stuff.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of that now. In fact,
I think we do.
I think we have a plethora of activities to choose from on any given weekend.
Oh, we do. And our mayor has just led the charge on bringing so many incredible opportunities to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at Scissortail Park. Look at the Myriad Gardens. I mean,
yeah.
It's just completely changing.
Completely changed. And the recognition that Oklahoma City is getting nationally and internationally as a destination.
Oh.
And not just because of the Thunder, but that doesn't hurt.
The Thunder doesn't hurt. But also, we're getting the Olympics. I do have a Thunder story.
Okay.
So I am on the Salvation Army board, and they have a project called Operation Angel Tree. And it's for needy children for Christmas. They need Christmas. So my daughter works for a different bank, Alliance Bank. And so they had adopted all these kids. And so she called me. She goes, Mom, there's this one kid, and he's 12 years old. And he didn't ask for toys. He wants clothes, and he needs shoes. She said, Mom, he wears a size 15 shoes. And she said, you can't go to the store and buy a size 15 shoes. I said, okay, I'm going to call the Thunder.
Yeah.
So I called my friend from the Thunder, and she was so funny. She said, Mary, I don't think we have any shoes that small. And I said, Jennifer, you give me the shoes. I'll buy him some thick socks. Well, she found...
Size 15. That's too small for our guys. That is rich.
I know. So she calls me about a week later, and she said, I have shoes for you. So I go to pick them up. I have 2 pairs of shoes. This child is probably wearing slides, some kind of flip-flops, because his parents can't afford $300 pair of shoes.
Right.
Can't go to the store. And if you're worried about being able to buy groceries or, putting food on the table or pay rent or electricity or something, the shoes, you're just not going to get the shoes. So, I mean, we'll never know this kid.
Right.
But there's some kid walking around with 2 pairs of shoes donated from the Thunder.
Yeah. Wow.
And they're not asking for recognition. We're not,
Yeah.
I don't even know the kid. But...
And I seem to recall seeing photos recently of you and Ennis Cantor.
He's a friend of mine, yes.
I did do a video with him several years ago. There was some organization,
Dialogue Institute?
Yes. And
I was in that video.
And, this was shot at the Colcord. It was just him. It was one of those, I'm sorry I can't be there videos.
So Ennis, to tell you what kind of a person he is, he's looking at my social media, and he said, hey, I want to fly in to help you with the Red Andrews Christmas dinner.
That's right, yeah.
And I said, okay. So he flies in December the 23rd. I pick him up at the airport, and I don't know if you know the giving machine.
Yes, I've heard it. Yeah, I've seen the photos.
Well, and if the carpenter, If you haven't applied for it, you need to apply for it.
Okay.
Because they support local organizations.
I thought it was all social services, so that's why I haven't explored that.
Got to explore it.
Okay.
So he flies in, I pick him up. And a 7-foot tall guy doesn't fit very well in my car. And so,
But easy to spot in a crowd at the airport.
And so we drive over to the giving machine, and he's just interacting with these kids. There's this huge group meeting him. And then I take him to his hotel the next morning, and I take him down to the Santa Fe South Charter School at Crossroads, and he helps with the dinner. Well, Santa's over here, and he's over here. All the kids want to see Ennis and not Santa.
Oh, my.
And I said, Santa, I'm so sorry. And he said, and so Santa comes up to me and he said, can you get his autograph for me? I said, is that what Santa wants for Christmas? So, yes, he flew in. And
What a nice guy.
oh, he is. He's just absolutely wonderful. And he wants to get more involved and help more nonprofit organizations. So
Oh, my.
I'm giving you a plug.
How does he feel about live performance theater?
I think he would love it.
Okay, we have a lot of leg room in our
You do.
theater. Maybe not enough for 7-footer, but
On the front row.
yeah. And then his head blocking everybody behind him.
That's true.
Do you have one favorite passion project that you're working on these days?
My mother would always say, don't show favoritism.
Okay, very well said.
Because if I were to say that was my favorite, it could hurt other people's
Right.
feelings. So she would always say, don't show favoritism.
There was an OU professor that I never had the pleasure of studying under, but became friends with later in life when I was working in the industry, and I would interact with him. And it didn't matter where we were, who he was talking to. If he saw a former student, he would always say, you were always my favorite student. and when I started teaching and then started having former students, I have adopted that philosophy.
Yes.
You were my favorite student.
You were one of my favorites.
Well, I sometimes say that as well. Yeah. That one, and I, wiggle my fingers and, indicate that, I have just a handful of favorite students.
But, that makes people feel good
Yeah.
and important.
Yeah.
And it's just a simple word.
It's simple. Yeah. And it makes them feel good.
It makes them feel good.
It makes their day.
Yeah. They're like,
So, Mary, what would be your suggestion to anyone who might be listening to this?
I would say support the local community, support the local arts, shop locally, support the people that support you. I mean, Carpenter Square, I came here, your Christmas story was so fabulous. I left there feeling great about life.
Yeah. Well,
it is a wonderful life.
We did the live on-stage radio version of It's a Wonderful Life, and I must say that I really enjoyed that production. I thought we knocked it out of the park.
You did, and all of your people that were performing in it makes them feel important.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it was incredible. So, from that to the ballet you can spend the entire month of December supporting local artists.
Right. I would also suggest other months of the year as well.
Every month of the year, but I was just saying December, I think you just block out your calendar in December.
Sure.
But every month of the year, and plus remember when they ask for support, they do need your support.
Boy, do they ever.
Because if we want to keep the arts in the city, we have to support them.
Right. Local support is becoming more important every year.
It is. And you may not think that your donation is very large, but it is. Every dollar counts.
Every dollar, really helps. Mary Blankenship Pointer, my computer is about to run out of power, so I guess this interview will have to wrap up.
I'm over.
I want to thank you for being my guest today on This Town OKC.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the honor of being here.
You're welcome. This Town OKC is sponsored by Carpenter Square Theater, edited by Fred O. Bishop. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. This has been a Lippert Media production.